Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In my last video I explained how I like different fandoms, and it's all across the board, ranging from everything from U2 to the Beatles to Rick and Morty to Will Arnett to all over the place. Today I'm going to tell you how I became a Beatles fan. My dad was my biggest influence on music. He played music for as long as I could remember. I have baby pictures of me wearing a set of giant old school headphones even. I was just a few months old. I don't think there was any music playing, so I don't think there was any hearing damage done, but you never know with my dad. My earliest memories of him are listening to bands like Iron Maiden, The Scorpions, Metallica. He was really into heavy metal, so a lot of those bands I still like to listen to now and again. I remember looking through his record collection and seeing the different covers and picking them up and reading them and wanting to listen to them. And he would play them for me. I didn't really understand what was going on. Some of the early ones he played for me were by The Who, Sell Out and Tommy, and Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. A lot of heavy metal bands, like I said, and like The Fix, and just anything. We listened to all kinds of music. That was our thing together. And then I took to the Beach Boys first when I was about 8 or 9. They were my big first band that I really enjoyed. He took me to their concert when I was 11. It was my first concert, and it was a lot of fun. But from the Beach Boys, he naturally progressed me into liking the Beatles. My first intro to the Beatles was my dad showing me the movie Yellow Submarine, which I think is a good place for kids to start. I was probably about 11 years old, probably a little bit older than most people get their start with the Beatles. I mean, they've always been a part of my life, obviously, because my dad was a fan. I remember singing Got My Mind Set on You by George Harrison's version when I was about 7 or 8. When it first came out, it was a huge hit where I lived, and so I remember singing along to that song more than the Beatles, really. And then after Yellow Submarine, things kind of just took off from there. Because once I get my hands on something I really like, it's like full on obsession. And ever since I could remember, since that day after watching Yellow Submarine, I had to read everything about the Beatles. I had to watch everything. There was just no stopping me from that point forward. And I had watched all their movies, bought everything that I could, learned everything about them that I could. My dad took me to see Ringo and the All-Star Band when they came around. I think I was 12 or 13 the first time I saw Ringo. And it was a great concert with one of the first All-Star bands. I mean, it was Billy Preston and John Entwistle from The Who and Joe Walsh, and it was just a great lineup. It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. But, it's one of those things where sometimes you find new fandoms and you get obsessed with them, and then you kind of lose track of the old one. The Beatles have never been lost in my life. They have always been there as a constant for as long as I could remember, and they always will be. I mean, they are my very favorite band of all time. Rightly so. I mean, not only do they have great songs as a band, but I mean the solo works that they've come out with. I mean, just look at Paul McCartney alone. His solo career is amazing. There's not one album that doesn't have a song on there that I don't like, and then I'm sure you could play it to anybody and they'll find one song on there that they like, no matter what their music tastes are. They're a band, and these four guys just resonate with the whole world. Obviously, we all know that. We're all fans. Why else would you be watching this video, right? Just to make fun of me, probably. But that's okay, you can. I don't mind. I make fun of myself all the time. Anyway, I'm getting off the path here. There was a record store by my house when I was growing up. I would take my bike there all the time and see what Beatles cassettes I could buy, because I didn't have a CD player yet. In fact, I don't think they were readily available yet. Showing my age a little bit. That's okay. So I'd buy all the cassettes that I could, and there was a flyer there for Beatlefest they called it. And I had missed it by like a week. And I was so mad that I missed it, so disappointed. But I remembered it until the next year when they came back around. And that was in 1994. I was 14. It's always around my birthday, Beatle Fest here in Chicago. It's always in August, right around my birthday. So I was probably just going on 14. And the Ruddles were there for the first time. And I didn't know who they were because I'm still a relatively new fan, you got to remember. 2-3 years into the fandom, there was no internet. So things are a little bit different now with people, because now you could look up everything and see everything all at once. Back then, it wasn't that easy. Everything was by word of mouth or anything. And then I remember in 1992 or 3, they showed a live Paul McCartney concert for his Off the Ground tour. They showed it on the local Fox channel here. Not Fox News. Don't go there. The local Fox channel that shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy and all that stuff. That channel. They showed the concert, and then afterwards on the news they had a segment about a local Beatles fan club. This was golden to me, okay? 13 years old, 14 years old. This was it. There was a fan club in my area. So they gave the address and everything, and I wrote a letter wanting to join, and I sent my money. And they would give you every month a homemade fan club letter would come with news stories about the Beatles and releases and their concerts and reviews and all this information that I couldn't find anywhere else. And the people that ran it were really nice. Rich and Maureen Lowry. They were amazing people. Maureen is still on Facebook a little bit. I don't think she'll ever see this, but hi, Mo. And I still speak to a couple of the people there on Facebook as well, Rebecca and Rollis. Hi, guys. I don't think you'll see this either, but you never know. But being so young, and I was so shy that, they would have these parties for like the Beatles' birthdays. So, February, July, June, and October, we would always get together at like this pizza place in this town called Cicero in Illinois. And it was above a bar. So first of all, I couldn't even get in. My mom would have to drive me, and she would stay in the bar downstairs waiting for the party to get over. And I would kind of sit by myself and not, interact much because I was too shy. Sometimes I dragged my little cousin along, and so I had somebody to talk to. And they were all adults, I don't know how old they were, but being, that young, they all seemed really, really old compared to me. They were probably in their 30s and 40s, so not that old because that's my age now. Looking back, it's hilarious. But they really were nice to me. They took me under their wing and embraced me. And I remember going to somebody's house for a party, which was kind of really awkward. The bar was a little bit better for me. But it was a lot of fun. And sadly, it's not around anymore. I really miss it. It was called Beatles Fans Unite. But it was a blast and perfect. And just what I needed at that age and that time. And it was I really miss it. I really wish it was back around again. And then going to the Beatle Fest for Beatles fans now. This coming August will be my 26th one in a row in Chicago. I'll be celebrating my 40th birthday around that time too. So, like I said, I've been going since I was 14, and it's just something that's been so incredible. I've met so many amazing Beatles people through there, not just guests, but, friends, and, you see them once a year, and it's kind of like a family reunion. It's amazing. And they're all, I met so many nice people. They're all amazing. And it's my cat behind me. And I couldn't, I don't think I would be the person who I am today without the Beatles. And they have had a great influence on my life, personally and just musically, introducing me to so many other bands and musicians and artists. And there's nothing like them. And I know I'm kind of rambling on here. Sorry about that. But if you have any questions, you could ask me. I could reply below, make another video answering the questions, whatever. I don't know. I'm up for anything. Well, let's not take it too far. keep it friendly here, kid friendly. But that's it. I'm doing this in tandem with my friend in California, Beetle Babe. She also did a video telling her story about how she got into the Beatles. And we're going to be going back and forth with this kind of thing with reviews and influences and all kinds of things together. So check out her channel. I'll link you below. And if you could please like and subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. And that's it. Peace and love. Peace and love. No more fan mail.